Welcome to the Sussex's Chronicles channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and show some love to Harry and Meghan. I am your host, Kelly. Today we delve into the intriguing conversations between King Charles and Prince William concerning the potential removal of titles from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. This discussion comes at a particularly charged time, as Britain gears up for a general election announced by Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. In response, Buckingham Palace has declared a pause on many royal engagements, emphasising the need for the monarchy to remain apolitical during this critical period. The decision to focus on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's titles seems to intertwine personal grievances with moments of national importance. As the country prepares for political shifts, the royal family finds itself at a crossroads, pondering decisions that could redefine its public image and internal dynamics. As the nation braces for an election, the palace walls echo with whispers of royal titles and future fates. While the UK gears up for a heated political battle, the royals step back, but not without their own controversies. As the election drums beat louder across the United Kingdom, the royal family traditionally retreats from the public eye, adhering to a long-standing rule of remaining apolitical. This practice ensures that the monarchy does not sway or seem to influence the democratic process. Yet, this very notion of political neutrality becomes a tightrope walk for figures such as King Charles and Prince William, whose past actions occasionally spark debates on their true detachment from politics. Take, for example, King Charles, whose environmental advocacy, though largely celebrated as humanitarian, has at times veered close to political commentary. His passionate speeches and writings on climate change, while crucial, raise eyebrows within certain circles, questioning whether these actions step over the line from royal duty into political territory. Similarly, Prince William's engagements with social issues, like homelessness and mental health, though noble, are sometimes perceived through a political lens. Critics argue that these ventures could indirectly comment on government policies or societal failures under current political leadership, stirring a subtle but significant discourse on the role of royals in public policy debates. This balancing act is not new to the monarchy, but each election cycle casts these royal duties under a more scrutinising light, bringing into question the feasibility of true neutrality in a world where every action can be interpreted as a political statement. In the quiet corners of the palace, the line between royal duty and political influence remains as blurred as ever. With their official diaries cleared, what occupies the minds of King Charles and Prince William? In the quiet corridors of the palace, stripped of the usual bustle of royal duties, a particular topic seems to resonate with increasing intensity. The focus? None other than the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan. As Britain gears up for a riveting general election, the royal family is expected to maintain a stance of neutrality, avoiding the limelight to prevent any political affiliations or biases from overshadowing the democratic process. This unprecedented pause in royal engagements leaves Charles and William with a surplus of time, a rare commodity in the usually hectic schedules of the monarchy. During this lull, the spotlight internally shifts towards Harry and Meghan, who have carved out a new life away from the royal forefront, but continue to capture public and media attention. The timing of this inward focus is intriguing. It comes when the nation's eyes are turned towards the future leadership of the country. Yet here we have the future leaders of the monarchy absorbed in familial matters. This focus is not without its implications. For Charles and William, it's a delicate balancing act. On one hand, they are expected to uphold the dignified detachment required of their royal stations during the election period. On the other, they grapple with the ongoing narrative surrounding Harry and Meghan, a narrative that challenges the traditional boundaries and expectations of royal conduct and responsibilities. The discussions about the Sussexes are not just about personal relationships within the family. They are reflective of broader themes of duty, privacy, and the evolving role of the monarchy in modern society. These conversations, whether they lean towards reconciliation or further distancing, are set to define much of the royal agenda in the coming months. As the nation's attention turns to ballots, the royal gaze turns inwards to family matters once more. This inward focus might just be a defining moment for the future of the British monarchy as it contemplates its role in a rapidly changing world. Titles are not just names, they are symbols of duty and history. But could they also be tools of retribution? In the world of royalty, titles carry immense weight. They are not merely prefixes to names, but are laden with responsibilities, expectations, and centuries of tradition. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, have been at the forefront of a modern royal saga that questions the very fabric of these traditions. The discussions about possibly stripping them of their titles aren't just about the titles themselves, but what they represent. This debate surfaces amidst their increasingly independent and sometimes controversial public personas. Following their move away from the UK and stepping down from royal duties, their actions have continued to ripple across the pond, stirring discussions within the palace walls. In examining why King Charles and Prince William might consider such a course, it's essential to understand the delicate balance the royals strive to maintain. The royal family aims to project unity and continuity, and any deviation from this image is met with scrutiny. Harry and Meghan's candid interviews and media engagements, particularly those where they've been critical of the royal institution, are seen not just as personal expressions, but as potential disruptors to the royal narrative. The implications of stripping their titles are profound. For Harry and Meghan, it could mean a further severance from the royal resources and a symbolic cutting of ties. For the royal family, it's about reinforcing boundaries, asserting control, and perhaps sending a message about the consequences of diverging too far from the royal path. Yet, this isn't just a matter of family dynamics, but one of public perception. The world watches closely, and the court of public opinion often has its own judgment. How this issue is handled could either bolster the royal family's image as adaptable and understanding, or paint them as rigid and unforgiving. In the grand tapestry of royal traditions, each thread of duty and dissent is woven with care and consequence. Harry and Meghan may have physically left Frogmore, but their presence in royal conversations remains undeniable. As the Sussexes forge their new path across the pond, the walls of Buckingham Palace still whisper their names. It's as though Harry and Meghan have left a permanent imprint on the very fabric of the royal household. King Charles and Prince William, though often silent in the public eye about the Sussexes, find themselves repeatedly drawn into dialogues that revolve around the couple's actions and decisions. These discussions go beyond mere gossip. They touch on deeper issues of family dynamics, public perception, and the future of the monarchy itself. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex might have stepped back from their roles as senior royals, but they continue to shape the royal agenda, albeit indirectly. This ongoing focus on Harry and Meghan can be seen as a reflection of the challenges the royal family faces in adapting to modern expectations and the global stage. Each move by the Sussexes, each interview, and each public appearance they make resonates back across the Atlantic, sparking discussions in the very halls from which they chose to distance themselves. The emotional and symbolic occupancy that Harry and Meghan hold within the palace is complex. It's a mixture of nostalgia, unresolved issues, and perhaps a continuous re-evaluation of what royalty means in the 21st century. Though oceans apart, the Sussexes' shadows linger in the halls of the palace, a silent testament to unresolved royal rifts. As we look towards the horizon, what does the future hold for the royal family and the Sussexes? This question lingers in the air, thick with possibilities and uncertainties. As we ponder the potential stripping of titles from Harry and Meghan, one cannot help but muse on the myriad of paths this decision could carve out, not only for the Sussexes, but for the monarchy itself. Should the titles be removed, it could set a precedent that aligns royal conduct with strict adherence to certain norms and responsibilities, reinforcing the idea that royalty must uphold a unique standard of behaviour. However, this could also lead to a sharper public scrutiny of what it means to be a royal today, in an era where the lines between personal freedom and public duty are increasingly blurred. On the flip side, if the decision is to maintain their titles, it may signal a more modern and flexible approach to royalty, one that permits individuality and personal growth outside the traditional confines of the palace. This could rejuvenate the royal family's image, presenting them as more relatable and in tune with contemporary societal values. Moreover, the relationship between the public and the royals could undergo significant transformations. The monarchy has always been a symbol of continuity and tradition, but it now faces the challenge of adapting to a rapidly changing world. The way they handled the situation with the Sussexes could very well be a litmus test for their relevance and resonance with the public across the globe. Internally, the dynamics within the royal family itself are likely to evolve. Decisions of this magnitude do not occur in isolation. They ripple through the family, affecting relationships and the overall harmony of the royal household. In a world where royalty meets reality, the paths of princes and dukes diverge, yet remain forever entwined. The decisions made today will not only shape their destinies, but also the future narrative of the monarchy itself, weaving a tale that will be told for generations to come.